Now, when Mark Warner ran for governor, he said he wasn't going to increase our taxes. Well, when Mark Warner runs the United States Senate and says he's going to raise your taxes, you better believe it, because that's what he's going to do. Mark Warner will be on TV next week. He has been getting a lot of contributions from organizations called Act Blue, a liberal organization that's been organized to pour money into liberal candidates across the country, and Mark Warner's getting that money. He's going to spend some of it next week, but when you see him on TV next week, you tell all your friends and your neighbors and everybody there that the Mark Warner you see on that TV ad is not the Mark Warner you will see in the United States Senate. And about the safety of this nation, I am a United States Army veteran. John McCain is a United States Navy veteran. And we stand for these men and women who shoulder the arms and go out there and stand up for this country in foreign seas. Our soldiers, men and women everywhere, our naval people, they are the greatest people in the world for standing up for this country and others in the world. The video talks about the Gilmore Commission for Homeland Security that I chaired for 5 years. And many of the recommendations were adopted in order to make this country safer. What has been the response of the liberal Democrats in Washington as we looked at our report? Our report pointed out how key police, fire, and rescue are in terms of preparing this country for Homeland Security. Our local responders, what's been the Democrats, liberals in Washington, D.C., their response just a short while back, the United States Senate Democrats voted unanimously for public employee collective bargaining of our first responders. That's their response. Virginians have never stood for anything like that. Every Democrat voted for it, including Senator Jim Webb. And every Republican voted against it, including Senator John Warner. And I have asked now, and I ask again, where would Mark Warner be in this? Would he stand with his Democrats, or would he break ranks? It's time now to get an answer. We're going to reach in this campaign for the independents and Democrats as well as our unified Republican Party. That is what we will do and we must do. And I want to say this to you. We're going to broaden this party. And people who say that you can't win in Northern Virginia are just flat wrong. We can win in Northern Virginia, and we will. I reject the idea that people across Northern Virginia will simply vote liberal and wrong automatically. If we stand for something, we will carry Northern Virginia. And we stand for something. We stand for reducing gas prices and less taxes and honoring our troops and Homeland Security. And I'll tell you something else. People say that we Republicans can't reach into the African American community and other minority communities. I'm here to tell you, whether it's Hispanics or people from South Asia or African Americans, we can and will and have and will again get those votes. My record as governor was complete. As Attorney General, I stood against church burnings for people in the African American community. As governor, I stood for the support of the African American traditional universities, and people across the state know that. We have the record for the African American community, not the Democrats, who do very little for the African American community. Senator Obama recently made a comment. And he said that in times of stress, that people in the small towns and communities of our country, in times of stress, cling to their churches, to their guns, and said these kinds of things in an elitist sort of way. It never occurs to Senator Obama, Mark Warner's running mate, that people out there in our community, all the way from Northern Virginia down through the Shenandoah Valley to the deep Southwest and the South Side, actually have real values. Real values. And those values are faith, the rights of the unborn, the right to keep and bear arms, respect for the law, particularly in the immigration area. Barack Obama and Mark Warner are out of touch. And I can tell you now, McCain-Gilmore will defeat Obama-Mark Warner in November. My fellow Republicans, my fellow Virginians everywhere, I accept your nomination. I accept it on behalf of working, regular people and families everywhere across the state. Families are in distress. They can't meet their bills. They can't pay these high gas prices. And they turn to us. Only we will ever offer a solution on this. The Democrats want exactly the distress that they're in, and they look to us for help. And I say we ride to their aid with a commitment to change, to reduce the cost of gas, to control federal spending, to control high taxation, to provide safety for our citizens at home and abroad, and demand adherence to the rule of law in the area of illegal immigration. This is a great crusade to hold this seat, but not just to hold it just for us, but to hold it for the independents, the Democrats who disagree with their own party in Washington, all Virginians, and indeed all Americans. And with your commitment, together, we will run the race, we will keep the faith, and we will win in November. Thank you, and God bless the United States.